This week, I made a recognition plaque, and I'm going to show you how my vinyl cutter works. Hi everyone, welcome back to the City Aperture channel. My name is Jose, and I go by City Aperture. And today is not as much of a, well, there's a project associated with it, but I'm really using this project mostly to show you how my vinyl cutter works. When I bought it, I didn't find a lot of stuff on how to make vinyl cutters work. So I decided might as well make a video, put it out there. People can decide if they want one for themselves or not. So I have a Cricut Explore Air 2. But we can talk some more about the vinyl cutter after the project. Let's just get to it, and then I'll show you some more afterwards. So let's select a piece of wood. This is my scrap bin of wood, or my scrap pile. I ended up selecting this piece of wood here. We're just going to prep it real quick and we'll get to the vinyl. Here I'm just cutting one edge, using the factory edge to cut the one side straight, then setting it to the width I want, and cutting that other side. Then same thing for the length, trimming one end, using that end then to get the final length of the plaque. There we go. Then real quick on the router, just adding a bevel to the edge, just to make it look like a plaque. Took this all the way around. After the bevel, I sand 3 different grids from I believe 80 to 120 to 220 or 320, something like that. Then after I applied some stain and some finish, nothing crazy. So this is the workspace. What we're going to do is we're going to upload. This is how you put in custom vinyls. Okay, we're going to go ahead and select one. We're going to drop it in this H2H logo. Here it loads it up, and then it gives you 3 options on the side for how you want it. Simple will work for this because it's just a straightforward logo. Then you got to select and erase. So this has a background, and you see here when I click, it's going to take the background away. There it is. That's all this one needs. When it gets more complicated, you might have to get rid of some other stuff. Accepted it. And here it's just showing you once cutting and once having the fill as well. You can give it a name and some tags, but I leave it with the fill because you can always take that out later. And you click OK. And now you're going to see it's going to put it as part of your library, right? So now it's down here. You can insert it if you want, but I'm going to convert some more real quick. I have some other logos I need for this. Some other logos and some other stuff. So we'll speed through that. Alright, so now we have our workspace. We're going to go ahead and upload. Now you see I have 3 other ones. I'm going to select the H2H. Puts it in. And here you can move it and enlarge it and whatnot. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the fill. So right now it has 2 heads in the cutter, one writes and one cuts. So I'm getting rid of the writing, so it'll only cut it now. And I'll move this around, but let me upload the other stuff that I'm going to need so I can lay it out based on the size of my plaque. Drop them in and just sort of move them around. This is what it's going to look like, so I'm constantly referencing back and forth to make sure I have the right sizes. And we'll sort of lay it out the right way. Once you cut it, once you tell it to cut, it moves them all together to try and make it as efficient as possible. Here I'm just really making sure the scales are right for what I need. Now this I'm going to save it. Once it's saved, we can move forward to the cutting. So let's go do that. Okay, so I've cut a piece for this roll here, right? It's just a piece of the roll, and this is going to get stuck down to this mat, which is really just a sticky mat, and then we're going to put it on the cutter. here we are. So it's putting it on the mat, and you can see it moves these guys down to the bottom, but we're just gonna go ahead and move these guys. Like that. Alright, and then we're gonna click continue. And it's finding the machine, which I've already plugged in through USB. Right, so then it just tells you what to do, which is set the material and load the mat. So let's go do that over there. Alright, so over here in this particular machine you set it to, it's already set to vinyl, but you can turn the dial to whichever ones you want. There's a couple of different settings, but we're going to cut vinyl. So then very simply you put that up to the machine, you click, you push on this little load button here, and then it's loading the vinyl. Right, so now we're all set. We go over here, then we're ready. You see it says ready to press go. And now we're going to push on the Cricut, and it's going to start cutting. There it goes. And now I'm going to start cutting the lettering. But yeah, that's the process. The lettering is really easy because you can do your lettering in the actual program. So. And while I like this light grip mat, I think I might eventually get a better grip mat. Sometimes you can see it bubbling up. So here I'm starting the process of taking the extra vinyl off, so it only leaves the pieces that I want stuck to the wood. It's a tedious process. I'm using an X-Acto, but you can buy a tool from them to do it. And once these are all peeled off, then I'm going to use transfer tape, which is really just a low-tack tape to stick it down. It's a simple process. Here's the finished plaque with H2H. So there you have it. That's how I made the plaque for a great organization called Hustlers to Harvest. But that's also how my vinyl cutter works. I don't know if you guys have seen one working before. I had a hard time finding a lot of videos on how they worked. I've got to say I'm very happy with my Cricut. Like this one's Explore Air 2. It was on sale when I bought it, which is mainly why I chose that one. The next level above that is the Maker, I believe. And that has its advantages. That one can cut wood, it can cut a bunch of other stuff. That one has its advantages. It can cut wood, it can cut a bunch of other stuff that this one can't. But I'm going to have a laser cutter here soon, so I don't really see the need to have that particular use. But aside from, the plaque, which I made, I wanted to show some other stuff that you can make, like this here. Move to the side. This is the vinyl that I cut of the Miles Morales Spider-Man logo, for example. This you would have seen. This is how I made my NCAA trophy, which is in the cards. That's how I made that, and you can even make it to do labels, like here's some names. I made some labels for my cats and my dogs' food bins. So you can really, limitless possibilities of what you can make. I'm going to be making some stencils here soon, hopefully, with it. But yeah, so I definitely think if you have the budget for it, it's not an expensive machine, you should get it. It's very useful so far. And hopefully you'll see more uses of it throughout the channel here. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next week with another project. Take it easy. If you guys like this project, then maybe you'll enjoy the podcast that I do with my two colleagues, Claudia and Ray. We discuss purpose-driven design, making, and manufacturing. We talk about architecture. We talk about all sorts of making. We have a project of the week. So yeah, please check it out. Again, it's called The Made Podcast. Thanks so much.